Good morning. Welcome to the light, where we walk in the light, shine the light of Jesus, and fight for the light. I am excited. It is a Thursday morning of a short week. Have y'all been forgetting what day of the week it is this week? I have. I almost forgot it was Wednesday yesterday, and I had to teach Bible study. But it was good. So today I want to talk to you about something we are all familiar with, because we always sing this song. It's a very popular song. Now there is even a remix. Caden was like, "You mean Jireh the remix?" So Jireh has become a very popular song, and it means the Lord who provides, or he provides. And so Jehovah, the Lord, Jireh, provides. So where did that come from? Well, today I want to talk to you about this. There's always another test. There's always another test. The origin of our experience with the God who provides, it comes from Genesis chapter 21. And Abraham had already been waiting for years and years and years to receive what God had promised him, which was his son Isaac. And he went through a major test before Isaac was born. Abraham passed the test. You would think that was enough. But as Isaac is growing up, God tests Abraham yet again. So Abraham has the promise, and now God tests him again. This test, God is asking him to give up the promise, to take the promise and sacrifice it. He didn't tell Abraham what was going to happen after that. You know, he didn't give him the next step. He just said, go and sacrifice your son, your only son, Isaac. So Abraham is on the way up. And of course, Isaac is like, okay, Dad, I see the wood. I see but I don't, where's the sacrifice? He doesn't know that he is the sacrifice. So Abraham tells him the Lord will provide a sheep. But as we know, they got all the way up to the top. And literally, as Abraham has already tied Isaac up and is raising the knife, I know this sounds barbaric, but as he's raising the knife, literally in the last moment, there was a ram he saw caught in the thicket, and the Lord had told him, he said, stop. So the Lord told Abraham to stop at the very last moment, and then he provided a ram in the thicket or a bush that was available for the sacrifice. Now we know we don't have to do these kinds of sacrifices anymore, and of course God would not have him sacrifice his child, but it was a test to see if Abraham was willing to give up the very thing that he waited for and the promise that God had given him in obedience to God. The final test is always a test of obedience. When we arrive, when we get what we waited for, when we get what we dreamed of, when we finally accomplish that huge goal, we are always going to be tested by God, and it's a test of obedience. And remember this, after this test, God said, I will surely bless you and greatly increase you and multiply you. So in other words, God had already promised those blessings. Remember, he said he would multiply his descendants, and out of Isaac, all the people of the earth would be blessed. But look, guess what? If he had not passed this test, then it wouldn't have happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when this happens to Abraham and he names this place, he names the place Yahweh Jireh, the Lord provides. Yes, because the Lord provided a sacrifice. Yes, because the Lord saved him from losing his son. But more than anything, the Lord is looking for us to pass the test of obedience so he can provide the increase. What is about to happen in Abraham's life, we will ripple through time. Abraham became one of the wealthiest. His family is blessed. The Lord Jesus Christ came from the lineage of Isaac. There are so many things that we can go on and on and on. But what I am saying is we cannot settle for just receiving the promise of God or reaching a certain goal or level we never thought we would. We need to go forward because God is wanting to do even more. So once you have accomplished one major obstacle in your life, maybe it was overcoming poverty, maybe it was getting your associate's degree, maybe it was just starting college, maybe it was just being functional, not dysfunctional, having a functional relationship. Maybe it was just, coming out of depression and having joy. Maybe, who knows what it is, whatever that accomplishment was. If God promised it to you and you finally endured to the end and received that promise, don't settle yet, because God is always going to test our obedience to Him. What happens with a lot of people is they receive the promise of God, something they've long awaited for, and they get to live in their best life and then forget about God. And if God were to come and require obedience, it's like people are too busy doing their own thing, and they forget about the reason they're where they are. They forget about the reason they have the promise they had. They forget about the reason they're holding what they're holding in their hand, the reason they're blessed, and just get settled. I don't want any of us to settle for just receiving the promise but not fulfill promise. Everything that God has promised you, everything that's in your heart, and that God said is yours, don't settle. Continue to obey God, continue to pass the test, and you will see that the Lord will provide increase to you. This will be supernatural increase. This will be increase in ways that have eternal purpose. In other words, it's not just about money. It's about eternal purpose. And so what I want us to know is when God blesses us, there are so many ways. This earth is full of ways that God can increase us and bless us. Let's not miss it by looking for money or looking for one specific thing. Believe me, we are going to be blessed beyond measure. We're not even going to be able to put it into words. When you're walking in the promise of God and you've been obedient, there's something about it. So I love you. Have a great day on purpose. Remember that God does provide, but it requires our obedience. And we are going to obey God once we receive the promise. And we're going to see God provide that supernatural increase. I love you and God bless you. Have a great day.